Today, we're diving into the lives of three former athletes who went from stardom to prison cells. 1. Robert Ernest Rozier Jr. From the NFL to murder and a cult. Born on July 28, 1955 in Anchorage, Alaska, Robert Rozier's early years were marked by athletic talent. After his family moved to California, he became a standout in football, track and field, and could bench press an impressive 375 pounds. He first attended Grays Harbor College in Washington before becoming a top defensive player at the University of California, Berkeley. In 1979, Rozier was selected in the 9th round of the NFL draft by the St. Louis Cardinals, now the Arizona Cardinals. He played just 6 games before moving to the Canadian Football League, and then briefly returned to the NFL with the Oakland Raiders. That stint lasted only 2 weeks. In 1982, everything changed. Rozier fell under the influence of Yahweh Ben Yahweh, a religious cult leader and black supremacist. Renaming himself Nia Israel, Rozier moved into Yahweh's temple in Miami, Florida. In time, he became a part of an inner circle known as the Brotherhood, where loyalty was proven by killing a white devil and delivering a body part to Yahweh. In 1986, Rozier committed a string of brutal murders. He killed a man and his roommate after following them home. On September 4th, he and another member of the cult murdered 61-year-old Raymond Kelly and severed his ear as proof. Just 2 weeks later, they killed 45-year-old Cecil Branch as revenge for a prior dispute. On October 27th, after the group bought an apartment complex, Rozier murdered 2 tenants who refused to leave. He was arrested the same day as the double murder. Initially, the Nation of Yahweh provided him with legal representation, but Rozier was excommunicated after requesting a new lawyer. Feeling betrayed, he became a state witness, confessing to 7 murders in exchange for a 22-year sentence. His testimony led to the arrests of 16 cult members. Yahweh Ben Yahweh, the leader, was ultimately convicted on conspiracy charges and served 11 years. Rozier entered witness protection and was released after serving just 10 years. But in 1999, he was arrested in California for writing a $66 bad check. While a misdemeanor on the surface, his prior convictions triggered California's 3 strikes law. After being found guilty of bouncing 27 checks totaling $2,200, he was sentenced to 25 years to life. He was denied parole in 2022, with his next hearing scheduled for February 2025. 2. Terrence Williams, NBA star turned mastermind of fraud. Terrence Williams was once a high school basketball prodigy in Seattle, Washington. Between 2001 and 2005, he started at Rainier Beach High School, winning a state title alongside future NBA player Nate Robinson. Highly recruited, Williams went on to play under Rick Pitino at the University of Louisville, where he built a reputation as a strong passer and rebounder, but his shooting left much to be desired. Despite his flaws, Williams was selected 11th overall by the New Jersey Nets in the 2009 NBA draft. Over 4 seasons and 3 teams, he earned $7 million before his career fizzled. He moved on to play overseas, though details of his contracts are unclear. In 2017, Williams orchestrated a fraud scheme targeting the NBA's healthcare plan. It began with a fake $9,000 chiropractic invoice, for which he was reimbursed over $7,600. Seeing an opportunity, he began recruiting other former NBA players to file false claims. He partnered with corrupt doctors and a dentist who provided fake invoices in exchange for kickbacks. Williams also took a cut from the players, profiting heavily from the scheme. To maintain the operation, Williams hired people to replicate fake documents and even impersonated a healthcare administrator to blackmail one of the doctors. That extortion alone earned him $346,000. Over 4 years, he made over $300,000 in kickbacks. The scam unraveled when administrators noticed repeated procedures, reused invoice numbers, spelling errors, and amateurish letterheads. Authorities launched an investigation, and on October 7, 2021, Williams and 18 others were charged with defrauding the NBA's health plan of $4 million. Everyone charged was a former NBA player, except for Desiree Allen, wife of ex-player Tony Allen. After being released for trial, Williams threatened a witness via text and was rearrested. In August 2022, He pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit healthcare and wire fraud, as well as aggravated identity theft. During sentencing in August 2023, Williams blamed his actions on stupidity and greed. A father of 6, he expressed deep shame. The judge sentenced him to 10 years in prison, ordered him to pay $2.5 million in restitution, and forfeit $650,000. Other former players, Glenn Davis, Alan Anderson, and Keon Dooling, also received prison time. The rest, including Tony Allen's wife, avoided jail. 3. Keith Wright. The NFL hopeful who became a violent offender, Keith Wright's journey from aspiring NFL star to violent offender is one marked by unfulfilled potential and a sharp descent into criminality. During his college years, he stood out as a defensive powerhouse, earning all Big 12 honors twice at the University of Missouri. His physicality and talent caught the attention of NFL scouts, leading to his selection by the Houston Texans in the 2003 draft. For a young man from Santa Clara, it seemed like a dream realized, but the professional sports world is unforgiving, and Wright struggled to secure his place. Despite spending time with several NFL teams and a stint in NFL Europe, Wright never managed to break past the practice squad phase. His short-lived football career spanned only a few seasons, and like many athletes who fall short of stardom, he faced a difficult transition. The loss of purpose and public identity often leaves former players feeling adrift, especially without long-term financial security. It's unclear what Wright did in the years following his football career, but by 2011, his life had taken a dark and criminal turn. That summer, Sacramento was shaken by a wave of home invasions that escalated in violence. The crimes were committed with a firearm, and in one especially disturbing case, a woman was sexually assaulted, then coerced into withdrawing cash from several ATMs. These acts weren't just burglaries. They were deeply personal violations that left a community terrified. The police worked swiftly to investigate, and a break in the case came when Wright attempted to exchange foreign currency that had been stolen from one of the homes. That act, seemingly minor, became his undoing. Once Wright became a suspect, the evidence piled up. Forensic investigators linked his DNA to the crime scenes, and when police searched his home, they found items stolen from multiple victims. The prosecution's case was overwhelming. During his 2012 trial, jurors heard testimony not only about the robberies but also about the trauma inflicted on the victims. The conviction on 19 separate charges, including rape, robbery, kidnapping, and burglary, left no room for leniency. The judge, citing the extreme nature of the crimes and Wright's clear threat to public safety, handed down a staggering sentence: 234 years and 8 months in prison. Wright's dissent also reflects a failure not just at the personal level, but within the broader ecosystem that surrounds young athletes. Many promising players come from difficult backgrounds and are thrust into the spotlight with little preparation for the pressures and temptations that come with fame. They're celebrated for their physical abilities but often not equipped with the life skills needed to manage money, make sound decisions, or deal with adversity off the field. Without mentorship, guidance, or mental health support, it becomes all too easy for someone like Wright to lose his way once the applause fades and the opportunities dry up. Additionally, Wright's actions speak to the destructive power of unchecked anger and a possible sense of entitlement. His crimes weren't impulsive mistakes. They were calculated, violent acts that showed a complete disregard for human life and dignity. These weren't the actions of someone simply desperate for money. They reflected a deeper moral breakdown. It's possible that years of disappointment, frustration, and perhaps untreated psychological issues contributed to this violent behavior. But none of that excuses the trauma he inflicted. His victims will carry the emotional scars for a lifetime, while Wright will live out his days behind bars. Two tragedies born from one man's choices. In the end, Keith Wright's story is a harsh reminder that raw talent is never enough. Athletic ability can open doors, but it takes integrity, resilience, and responsibility to walk through them and stay on the right path. Without those values, even the brightest future can collapse into darkness. Wright had every chance to build a meaningful life, but through a series of devastating decisions, he chose a path that destroyed not only his own future, but the lives of others as well. His legacy is now a warning, not a celebration. Thank you for watching. If you found this documentary compelling and chilling, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Your thoughts are invaluable. And if you want to hear more true crime stories and follow these emotional and intense cases, hit the bell for notifications.